Your mindset is simply that. It is a set space of mind. It is one which has been given a frame. It is one that has been given a form within the reality of who you understand yourself to be. Hi, my name is Blake, and I'm here to share with you my own truth and understanding as it grows and develops through my own journey towards on my spiritual path. What I want to do today is share with you a channeling. Okay, and for those that don't know what channeling is, basically I would say it's connecting and allowing a often collective intelligence to come through to bring forward a message of truth, of knowledge, of understanding, of potential wisdom. And it is the understanding that you are allowing yourself, you are emptying yourself of the mind, of that aspect of your false self, to allow that space for that conscious intelligence to come through to deliver the message. It's been a while since I have channeled, so we're just going to see what happens and see what message comes through. What I will do is just settle in. If it can take a while for the energy to come through. If it does, I will just cut through to the point of where the channeling starts. And I hope you enjoy, and I hope that there is going to be a benefit to all of us. We'll just see what that benefit is. So thank you and enjoy. The true task of opening to your greater understanding, the true task of opening towards the greater aspect of your being, is to open your heart and allow yourself to enter the space of non-resistance, to enter the space of least resistance towards which you can travel. Because your heart is ultimately that part of you which is unencumbered with the aspects of your identity, that is unencumbered with the aspects of what you believe to be yourself within this present moment. And it is up to you to allow yourself to enter this space of least resistance, of non-resistance, to allow yourself to let go of what you understand yourself to be, and to enter the present space of what is. And it is within this space that you can truly start to comprehend how you can move forward in your life without that presence of the ache of an identity which does not truly serve you, and to allow that part of you to become what is within all that is. Ultimately, your space of renewal, your space of becoming, your space of all that can be within the present moment is it is a reliance. It is a reliance upon who you perceive yourself to be in comparison to who you truly are. And the greater aspect of yourself, the greater aspect of who you are, is the ultimate truth in which you are awakening to becoming. And you can look at the idea of who you are now with your form identity, who you are within the space of what you understand yourself to be, but you will not allow the greater truth of who you are to become. And this greater truth of who you are becoming is what you are already in relationship with, because you are the totality of what is. And this becoming is just the letting go of the mind, the letting go of the ego, the letting go of the falsity and the resistance of who you feel you are in comparison to the truth of who you are. This is your truth to step into, and it is up to you at what layer and what level and what part of your being you want to step into this truth, what part of your being you want to resist this truth, this part of your being that you do not want to become. Becoming is the aspect of who you are in the reality of all that is. Your becoming is the becoming of your truth. It is the becoming of your being. And letting go of everything else is what you need within the present moment. And of course, it is hard to let go of what you cannot see. It is hard to let go of a truth that is unbeknownst to you because you cannot see what it is before you. And your truth, your reality, is only as large as you give it within that moment. And the truth of who you are is that presence. But the presence of what you see and what you don't see are two entirely different aspects of your being. And ultimately, the weaving of your reality, the weaving of your truth, is only going to be as large as you allow it to be within one moment. And your being, the aspect of your being, is the totality of your truth within true being. The truth of true being. That is the reality of who you are. Because if you allow yourself to be within any one moment, then you do not see through false eyes. You do not see within a limited perspective of what the mind has created, of what the ego perceives upon you. You just allow yourself to be with what is within the present moment. And what is within the present moment is all that is. It is a truth that cannot be hidden, but it can be misperceived. Your truth, your reality, the totality of who you are is the ever expansion of all that is. It is the ever expansion of all that is. And your reality within any one moment is here for you. It is here for you to move within those layers, to dance and to weave and to hold and to be and to become. Because your mindset is simply that. It is a set space of mind. It is one which has been given a frame. It is one that has been given a form within the reality of who you understand yourself to be. And that frame of your life is made out of a rickety structure. As much as you may not see it within that moment, it is made to be broken. It is made to fall. And as much as the mind, the ego, will not want you to perceive this, it is that which is that allows the structure to exist and the structure to fall. To recognize that the structure does not even exist within that moment at all to begin with. Yet through the eyes of the perceived in the false reality that you have created. There is nothing more, there is nothing less, there is only all that is. And that all that is the ever-present moment of what is. It is that space of timeless resistance to what is that allows you to see the truth of who you are. It is the truth of what is within all that is. And your reality, the dimension of who you are, is ultimately an expression of what is. And if you allow yourself to see through false eyes towards an existence that does not need you to understand who you are, then you will only forever be limited by what could possibly be rather than what is. And this is the truth of what is. It is what is needed to understand the truth of what is, because ultimately that path of least resistance is the end of your suffering. It is the end of the resistance to who you are, which creates suffering. When you resist, you stop yourself from being. When you resist, you stop the process of becoming the truth of who you are, which you are already. The becoming is just an allusion to the being. Yet, for your mind to understand who you are becoming, it is a helpful notion for you to step into. That you are becoming your true self. That you are becoming that aspect of God that is realized within the present moment. And it is here that we can use the framework of time to see that it is in this space that we can become what is. We can become the being of the ever-present moment. The becoming of time is the being of timelessness. The allowance of what is allows us to become the truth of who we are. And it is this space of knowing our being, knowing who we can become, that we can allow ourselves to relax and to let go, and allow ourselves to see the truth of who we are for what it is. And your reality is that expression of what is. Never think you are without. Never think you are not. Just allow yourself to express the being of your creative endeavors into the moment of what is. Because it is here that we can truly connect with the divine, connect with what is, the source of who we are. And it is here that we can start to play out this aspect of duality and non-duality. It's here we can start to play out and start to lessen the resistance of who we think we are, and start to create with the intention of serving the greater. Create for the purpose of creating, not for the purpose of doing for a limited reality for which we try to perceive from a limited mindset, and ultimately limit the purpose and the creative power of creation itself. Serving the truth of who you are is an act. It is an act that you can choose to do, as much as we see it as an act of the volition of your truth. And that act of your becoming, the act of your creative process, the act of your being will just allow you to see something greater. But only if you see it for what it is, an act. And an act is an action without the purpose of being. It is the purpose of your union to something greater that allows you to see the truth of who you are. And this acting is that space of becoming when it is aligned with the truth of who you know yourself to be. Because your knowing is ever present, as much as it might be hidden amongst the smog of the false self, the false aspect of your being. You believe yourself to be something of an idol towards which you are serving. You believe yourself to be the part that is not present. You believe yourself to be something greater than what can be, because it is this part of you that you do not allow to be in the presence of what is. And the part of you that does not let go of the truth. And your being in presence, your being gives way to something greater. All of what you perceive is in the simplicity and the recognition of something greater. And that space that luminosity is where the divine can come into being, to be realized. Your purpose within what is to see what can be, to see what is. To realize that your being allows this creative process to unfold. And when we allow this creativity to form, it is here that we can inspire. It is here that we can fulfill. Because the greatness of being allows us to express all that can be within the form of this existence. The truth of your being should not be limited the truth of your being should be. And through that recognition of the divine, through that recognition, you can start to bridge the gap and start to focus this perceived reality and start to give and give and give and give. Your expression of being is divine. Thank you. Thank you if you've made it this far, thank you very much. That was actually quite a beautiful experience. I've had quite a big shift in my truth and understanding in the last month or so. And it has allowed me this space to start to step into to giving. And it's a path that I'm starting to weave. And it's this space of starting to, as that channeling there was speaking in part to, the space of the awareness of our true selves, the awareness and the being, as it was speaking about. I actually asked just before we started, I wish, because when you channel, or at least when I do, I always set an intention. And I set an intention for, and it can be quite open, and it can often allow in, so an intention would be something like, I asked to connect with an energy of light and love that would like to come forwards with a message that will serve all of us at this moment in time, or if it's for myself, that will serve me best, for example. And today I asked for something to come forwards that I don't even know. That, because often what I find is with the channeling, it can reflect my journey so far. It can reflect my journey in different aspects, and it allows me to sort of weave in learnings, if you will. And so I asked in the beginning, I said, can you bring forward something that I don't know, if that is right? Because what am I trying to say? Yeah, I said, if you can bring forward something that I don't know, if that is right, or bring forward and allow us this space to integrate what it is that I do know. And I think both of that occurred then, because I'm sure you would have noticed that there was two energies that came forwards in that. And if you didn't notice, you would have noticed the pace change. And that has happened a couple of times before, where the energy has changed, but it's been more of a rarity, and that was very beautiful. The first energy felt very strong as it was coming in, and that second energy, I think also because I haven't channeled for a while, and perhaps if that was earlier in my journey, I would have thought that first energy had gone and the channeling had finished. But that second energy was so subtle yet expansive, and it was clear. I thought, my gosh, because when you're in this space, for channeling, the best thing is to allow your awareness into being, just like it's speaking about in the channeling, but to let the ego and let the mind fall away, and as much as possible. But I'm still on that journey, and that channeling, if I was to do it as a habit, the mind and the ego would fall away more and more. for here I could feel it, you know, thoughts interspersing at different points, and it often doesn't affect the channeling. It depends what comes in, when, and with what strength. And I just felt little niggles there when this second energy, when it was starting to come in, and I was just like, I didn't say this, but it was just like, oh, there's just one or two words. Is this? Am I? What's going on? And I felt this softening that was almost speaking to the ego, if you will, without words. But it was clear that in that energy, just like any channeling, there is an energy that goes beyond the words. But the second energy that came through there was an energy that was more important than the words. And in that presence of being, which is what it was speaking about. And I'm only talking this really to integrate it for myself as much as for whoever listens to this. But it was just beautiful. It really was beautiful. And through my own slow emergence and only recent emergence into a space, into a little crack of awareness of what is, a little look beyond the fog of the mind and the ego. It spoke about the mist of the fog, and it's through this because this is where the shift in my journey has really started to take place. But it's given me space to break away from the perceived and the known, and that space of being can only grow the more we allow ourselves to move into the practice of it. So thank you, all of you, for coming here and witnessing that. And please just allow yourself to sit with that energy now. Channeling is very much just like any other form. Even if you go for like a tarot reading or something else, there is an energy that is beneath words. And so if you go to any energy healing sessions, be it Reiki or something similar, it's the same kind of concept. And within that space, just go easy on yourself. As much as the words of what might be said might or might not have been understood, there's a lot that happens beneath the surface. So just give yourself that space, drink lots of water and fluids, and I hope, really, really hope, that you have a beautiful, beautiful day, a beautiful, beautiful space of the presence of the eternal moment, as much as you can allow yourself to enter that space. And just be easy on your being. Thank you.